Hey guys, Shadowz here, welcome back to another Gears of War E-Day video. Today we're going to be discussing the Battle of Aspho Fields, as well as the fate of Carlos Santiago and Helena Stroud in the Gears of War E-Day story. The Gears of War E-Day trailer was revealed in a surprise announcement by the Coalition Studio during the Xbox Game Showcase, taking us all the way back to Emergence Day in the Locust War, when the Locust Horde invaded the surface of planet Sarah with a brutal ambush from below, playing as a younger Marcus Fenix and Dominic Santiago in the city of Kelowna as they begin their fight against the Locusts. Now, despite the next mainline Gears of War game title being based on E-Day and the emergence of the Locusts, the invasion of the Locust Horde is no secret, and so it's likely the new Gears game won't begin by diving straight away into Emergence Day, but instead, based on interviews with the Coalition Studio, we may just have our answer on how the story may begin, by featuring possibly one of the biggest moments for Gears of War fans of the expanded Gears universe, and will make Gears of War's E-Day's campaign story even better. In an interview with Xbox One and Windows Central, the Coalition Studio's creative director Matt Cersei discusses the beginnings of Brotherhood, with the story being told from the perspectives of a much younger Marcus and Dom, that despite them both being seasoned veterans of the Pendulum Wars, the Locust Horde is a wholly new threat to navigate, while also surviving the apocalyptic Emergence Day as billions of humans are killed. He then continued mentioning the importance of Marcus and Dom being connected through Dom's older brother Carlos Santiago, who died on the battlefield with Marcus, confirming that the Gears of War E-Day game opens up when there's supposed to be peace on Sarah, as Marcus and Dom are just returning from the Pendulum Wars, trying to figure out life without this person that they both loved. Matt Cersei goes into further detail in an interview with Windows Central by saying the following: "Peace was declared on Sarah and they had a hopeful future in front of them. There's also trauma and grief from the Pendulum Wars, stemming from the passing of Dom's brother Carlos. Carlos was Dom's older brother, but he was Marcus's best friend." Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Gears of War game if the campaign story were to start during a time of peace, and seeing how the importance of Carlos Santiago's death is to the story narrative and tone of a younger Marcus and Dom going into E-Day, what better way to get the players to share this pain and feel the burden of Carlos Santiago's death than to actually get to play the Battle of Aspho Fields as Marcus and Carlos, experiencing it for themselves from the Pendulum Wars in the opening prologue of Gears of War E-Day's campaign story, similar to what the Coalition Studio have already done before. Previously in Gears of War 4, the opening prologue of the game begins with First Minister Jin of the new COG celebrating the 25-year anniversary of the end of the Locust War on Victory Day, by commending the bravery of the veteran COG Gears present, recalling high details of key battles in the past including Aspho Fields, Emergence Day, and Anvil Gate, through the eyes and history of Victor Hoffman, providing an interesting way to integrate playable Pendulum Wars chapters into Gears of War video games when it relates to the core story narrative, which I think the Coalition will do so again with the opening prologue of Gears of War E-Day's story being set during the Battle of Aspho Fields. During Gears of War 4's prologue, in the Battle of Aspho Fields Pendulum Wars section, it focuses on Operation Leveler from Victor Hoffman, Dominic Santiago, and the rest of the Commandos' point of view as they raid Aspho Point to steal the Hammer of Dawn technology from the UIR and capture key indie scientists before escaping to the beachhead and being picked up by the COG. During Gears of War E-Day's prologue, the Battle of Aspho Fields could of course focus on Marcus Fenix and Carlos Santiago's point of view of the same battle, which saw them as part of C Company of the 26th Royal Terran Infantry, joined by the likes of other characters such as Helena Stroud, Bernie Mataki, and Tai Kaliso. Marcus, Carlos, and the rest of C Company were tasked with landing north of Aspho Point to block off UIR reinforcements, while Dom Hoffman and the rest of the commandos raided the UIR lab for the Hammer of Dawn, specifically using defensive tactics and the COG Long Spear rocket launchers to take out the UIR heavy armored vehicles, such as the Chimera's attack helicopters and the Asp anti-air tanks. The COG would successfully hold their position, but at the cost of over 26 casualties, which leads to the fate of Helena Stroud and Carlos Santiago. In the Gears of War Aspho Fields book novel, it reveals as the battle unfolds, Major Helena Stroud realizes that as long as the UIR armored vehicles were present, the whole operation was doomed, and that somebody had to get close to the UIR Asps and take them out with grenades. Only 10 meters away from one of the UIR Asps sitting idle, Helena leaps onto the hull of the vehicle, dropping a bandolier of grenades down the hatch to the surprise of the indie driver. Not able to slam the hatch closed, she tries to jump clear, but her armor webbing gets caught on the vehicle's frame, hanging off the Asp as it swings its gun turret. For a small moment, she struggles, reaching for her knife to try cut herself loose, but a mere life seconds go by. and the frag grenades explode, destroying the UI Asp but killing Helena Stroud in the process, fragmenting her body across the battlefield. Shortly after taking charge of C Company, Marcus and Carlos with the rest of their squad lead an ambush on the remaining UIR Asp but fail, as without thinking, Carlos sprints out of cover with the other guys following him as they all get fired upon and lit up instantly by machine gun fire, killing his squad teammates off and leaving Carlos heavily wounded as he falls off the side of the bridge. Marcus, reacting to Carlos being shot down, decides to hijack the remaining Asp and drive it into UIR enemy territory, gunning down every UIR indie soldier and vehicle on site. Carlos manages to call himself back onto the bridge but notices he's been shot in the leg. His stomach as his guts are spilling out trying to hold them in, but he knows he still needs to get clear before the explosions of Aspho Point begins. As Marcus attempts to make his way back to the riverbank, Carlos reveals to him and Bernie over the radio that he's been wounded bad and he can't move, trying to convince them, especially Marcus, to not come rescue him, begging them to shoot him out of his misery, with Bernie even considering it. And then in the ending act of absolute heroism, Carlos Santiago finally manages to pull his grenade pin, detonating a huge explosion, destroying the bridge and cutting off UIR reinforcements, allowing the COG to successfully evac the jackbots containing the Hammer of Dawn data and technology, surviving commandos, gears, indie scientists and civilians. The Battle of Aspho Fields forever changed the course of the Pendulum Wars, with Operation Leveler being a huge success, as the heroic actions by Victor Hoffman, Dominic Santiago, Marcus Fenix, Carlos Santiago and Helena Stroud were all awarded the Embry Star, the COG's highest decoration possible, eventually leading to Adam Phoenix's creation of the Hammer of Dawn satellite orbital laser weapon a few years later, the surrender of the UIR with the end of the Pendulum Wars and a time of peace, before suddenly a whole new enemy emerges from below. Overall, a Battle of Aspho Fields prologue in the Gears of War E-Day campaign story, featuring this iconic Pendulum Wars battle with Marcus Phoenix's point of view, alongside introducing Carlos Santiago and Helena Stroud into the video games, would be by far the absolute perfect way for players and Gears fans to experience the brotherhood between Marcus and Carlos, and what that means for the relationship between Marcus and Dom as they fight against the Locust Horde invasion on Emergence Day. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. What is your opinion on a Battle of Aspho Fields Pendulum Wars prologue from Marcus Phoenix's point of view? And do you want to see Carlos Santiago and Helena Stroud finally make their debut in Gears of War E-Day? Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you do enjoy my Gears of War content and want to see even more videos, there is a playlist on my YouTube channel containing all of my other Gears of War E-Day videos so far. If you do want to check out more like this one, click the join button to become a YouTube channel member to gain access to emotes, channel badges, and most importantly, early access to all new videos before anyone else. I want to give a big shout out to all of the members on screen for becoming a Shadow Knight YouTube channel member. I truly appreciate your support. So there you have it, guys, full details on Gears of War E-Day's story, including Battle of Aspho Fields prologue and the fate of Carlos Santiago and Helena Stroud in E-Day. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you already. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.